Kellogg with Madwire,
Yeah.
CEO, co-founder.
Talking about your story. So I want to talk about first thing, like where were you born, and yeah, we can start from there. Dwell on your high school, and also for Madwire, and any lessons from there, and just your overall story from there. Where you were born, and like where you went to school, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And just looking at you the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Just make sure you want to look at the camera.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. I was born in Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, nice.
Lived near there, and then ended up being raised in Loveland, Colorado.
Nice.
So I went to school, Loveland High School.
Yeah. Nice.
As a kid, I kind of moved around in the elementary school years. We lived in California for a couple years.
Oh wow.
I was a little slower in elementary school, had dyslexia, and
Oh wow.
was slower to learn. Was held back in second grade.
Yeah.
And so I kind of learned how to work hard.
Yeah.
I had to work a little harder to do as well as some of the other kids and some of the other things. I was
Yeah.
gifted in some subjects like art and sports and those sorts of things,
Yeah.
but, and pretty good in math, but when it came to reading
Yeah.
and writing, that was a little difficult for me in the early years.
Yes.
So that taught me a lot of hard work and humility.
Yes.
And so by the time I got to high school, I had figured it out. I was doing really well in school,
Yeah.
did pretty good. Loved sports, played football,
Yeah.
earned a scholarship to go to Montana State University, play
Awesome.
quarterback.
Awesome.
Played a year there, was injured, ended up transferring around, went to Eastern Arizona Junior College, played quarterback and safety.
Oh yeah.
Ended up getting a scholarship to play safety back to university and
Nice.
finished there at Western New Mexico.
Awesome.
So, was always into leadership and business and marketing. I was always a team captain and that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And in my senior year of college, when I finished football,
Yeah.
football is like a full-time job, so you don't really have any extra time to work or do anything like that.
Yeah.
So when football ended, I had a lot of free time on my hands. So
Oh wow.
I went to an internship nearby at a magazine company. They were a travel magazine called Zia Publishing.
What? Yeah.
And I walked in there and I just said, hey, is there anything I can do to help you guys out?
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with marketing. I'm pretty good with design.
Yeah.
I can do any of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And they said, no, we don't really need additional design help or anything on that front, but
Yeah.
we do need a website. Do you
Yeah.
know how to build a website?
Uh-huh.
And I said, I don't, but if you give me a desk in a couple months, I'll figure it out. And so they did.
Yeah.
They gave me a desk in a couple months, and I just taught myself how to build a website, how that all worked.
Yeah.
And when I was finished with it, I was walking around recognizing that not a lot of people knew how to do that. It was a talent that at that point in time was pretty rare.
Yeah.
And so the writing was on the wall that everything was shifting digital.
Yeah.
The old way of marketing was dying off and the new way was picking up.
Yeah.
And so I told my dad right when I came out of college, I thought there was an opportunity there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I told my wife as well, and she was always supportive, like, oh man, you should do it, you should get after it. But at that point in time, it was mostly a freelance thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a real business at that point in time. And so, I just ended up working for my dad for about 5 years. We worked together in the futures and commodities trading industry.
And
So-
what is that?
It's like trading currencies and metals. It's kind of like a stock brokerage firm,
Oh wow.
but it's trading currencies.
Oh,
and
nice.
so and grains and like crude oil and that kind of thing, all commodity based.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so that was a good experience because it taught me sales.
Yeah.
So I got really good at sales. I rebuilt their website several times. Started, helping with online trading software and customer management databases. So
That's very cool.
was forward thinking and it's
Yeah.
a very competitive industry. So
What was like the commodities trading? Or,
yeah,
or
commodities trading was
Oh, wow.
very, very competitive. So
Yeah.
commodities trading companies were already doing digital marketing. Small businesses were still in the newspaper and the yellow pages, but
Ah.
in the brokerage industry, it was far beyond that because it was already into the digital world.
And why do you think that is? Is it because like there's a bunch of like computers you have to deal with, or?
Yeah, it was digital based with just the trading
Wow.
quotes and the charts and all that, but
Yeah.
it's also a national type of audience
Yeah.
that you're targeting. So you can't get in every single newspaper. It's not really reasonable.
Yeah.
And so digital made more sense. So there was digital email newsletters.
Yeah.
There was advertisements on trading websites, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was a good experience that started teaching me those things before small business was really getting there. And so my dad and I work out at lunch every day.
Yeah.
And one day we just got to talking about how everything was shifting digital. It was clearly going that way.
Yeah.
And he'd been in the brokerage industry for like 20 years, so You know, he was getting to where he wanted to do something different.
Okay.
And the brokerage industry is very volatile. It
Yeah.
can kind of wear you down. You know, you build your business up, then the markets crash, and so we thought, man, if we could just build a business that was, you know, for the most part, built on our hard work and effort, and it wasn't being controlled by something out of our control, like the markets, then we'd be far, far more successful. And so,
Is it that's why you guys chose small businesses?
we chose small businesses because they were the ones starting to really make that shift to digital, and small business is sort of what we were used to working with in the trading industry, because we all had individual accounts, smaller traders. You know, we were used to dealing kind of, we always said, let's one lot our way to success. We don't need one big account, just give us a whole bunch of little ones. We'd rather that because we're more diversified.
Yes.
So that's why we started working with small business. It was
That's
just a good fit. So
that's awesome.
we both decided to do it.
Yeah, and before I go to that, I want to also go into like your high school, and because what you did there that set you up to be like a quarterback for Montana State and Southern New Mexico University, and that set you up over time to build Madwire with your dad and your mom. Yeah, her name is Pam, by the way.
Yep.
With that, and then so I want to like talk about, so like in high school, like were you like the kid, like I'm not gonna make a plug for myself, but did you like do like a bunch of clubs and hang out with your friends and build things, or what did you do? Were you just like a bunch of like geeks, like just you know?
Right. Yeah, no, my high school years, I was very, very into football. You know, that was my thing. And so that's what I was most focused on. You know, I wanted to go play Division I football at that time, and potentially beyond that. You know, that was my number one focus. I was still an entrepreneur, though. I ran my own business, a lawn care company.
Oh, really?
I started, called Local Boys Make Good. Me and my buddy started it, and we were very successful. You know, we had a lot of accounts. We probably had 50 to 100 accounts. And we mowed their lawns, took care of their yards every week, made more money than all of our friends. You know, our friends couldn't believe how much money we brought in. You know, we ended up buying our own equipment, our own trailer, our own sign on the trailer. And we were advertising them. We were running ads in the paper at that time. And we had senior discounts and all kinds of stuff. People called us, and we'd go give them a quote and mow their lawn. So I was doing that on the weekend, football in between.
And you did it on the weekends?
I did it on the weekends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because so busy during the week.
Yeah.
And then as far as clubs, I did DECA. DECA was really, really fun. I really enjoyed DECA. Highly recommended. And that's what teaches you to kind of think on your feet, the sales process and presentation and all those sorts of things.
And what subject did you choose when you were in DECA? Because I know there's a bunch of things you can choose.
You know, at that time, I don't remember having the option of the subject. I'm not sure they had that back then. It was just something where we would just show up as a DECA group to the event, and then we'd get kind of a real-time card of here's what you're doing today, and you have X amount of time to prepare. You know, and then you just go in and you just do your thing. Sometimes solo, sometimes with a partner.
Oh wow! Okay.
That's how we did it. I don't remember picking subject matter expertise on anything at that time.
And what do you think that taught you when you were doing DECA? Because I know you mentioned that it helps you think on your feet.
Well, starting off with what DECA taught me, I think what DECA taught me was just to not be afraid to just jump in and get after it, you know? Just jump in, just go for it. The worst thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to say no, you know, and you're going to have to change directions. And so it taught me to have that sort of fearless approach, I think, and not overthink stuff, just get after it.
And by the way, guys, JB made a wonderful video with, what's her name again? It's a lady on YouTube that talks about JB's fearlessness and how he got it. So you guys should watch it. It's on. It's just type in JB Kellogg on YouTube. Sorry.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then as far as my dad coaching me, you know, it just we always had a good relationship like that, you know, as a coach and really a friend. And he just taught me hard work and dedication and those sorts of things. And, you know, as far as being an entrepreneur, I could see he owned his own business. My grandfather and his grandfather did. So it's just run in our family. And so in my mind, you know, it's just that the way that you do it, you know, like you just run your own business. So I was never afraid of that. It was just something I always just assumed that I would do.
Okay. That's okay. And then what made you choose Montana State when you were when you were getting out of high school, and when you were in high school, what did you, apart from like football, like what would you have wanted to do that that maybe that people probably don't know or would be kind of interesting?
I was focused on just wanting to advance my football career, but after football, I always planned on running my own business.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily know what that business would be.
Yeah.
I wasn't married to anything in particular.
Yeah.
I just knew that I wanted to seize an opportunity when it came up and build a company. So.
Nice, awesome. And then so and then my other question was what made you choose Montana State and when you got injured, which it kind of sucks. So what did you like learn from it, and what made you choose? Is it southern New Mexico?
Eastern Arizona initially, and then western New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where did you, what football team was that? Or was it just like a college that you went to, or?
Which one? Western New Mexico?
Oh no, the one in
Eastern Arizona.
Yeah,
that was a JUCO. A JUCO football team.
Oh, junior college.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
And okay, so junior college, and then so what made you choose Montana State University?
Yeah. Well, in high school I did really well, and I had a lot of options to go to a lot of different schools. And my junior year was my best year.
Nice.
I was being visited by big schools, Florida State, all those types of schools.
Yeah.
I actually injured myself in the playoffs my junior year. And so my senior year I played, I actually played the whole season with a torn labrum, and I had partially dislocated my elbow.
Yeah.
And so I had to adjust my throwing motion a little bit to get by.
Yeah.
And that hurt me because I ended up losing a lot of those opportunities at those bigger schools. And so then I was looking at schools like Montana State, Division I AA, CSU. I looked at. I looked at all that kind of that area of schools, and ultimately I visited Montana State and I just really liked it. It really reminded me of Fort Collins, really nice school. The town has nothing better to do than to be huge supporters of the football team, so that was kind of cool.
That's awesome.
So I ended up just picking Montana State and I just went with it.
Nice.
And then at Montana State, my arm, progressively got worse because I hadn't had surgery, and and to the point where it was very painful every day. And so finally I had surgery.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, finally I had surgery. At that point in time, it was going to take a year or two to rehab, and so I decided to take a year off and rehab. And then the old coach that used to coach me at football camps at CSU as a kid ended up coaching offensive coordinator at Eastern Arizona Community College.
Oh, wow.
And so I ended up getting in touch with him and got a scholarship to go there. I figured I'd play there for a year or two and then try to get a scholarship back to a school of similar size as Montana State. So that's what I did. Turns out my shoulder felt better, but I had developed some bad habits in terms of getting around the injury that were hard for me to overcome initially. And so I started playing strong safety. And I did really well at strong safety. I think because I played quarterback so long, I could kind of read what was happening. So I knew where the play was going half the time. And so I made a lot of plays, and I ended up doing well. I earned a scholarship to play strong safety at Western New Mexico. From there, and I played 2 more years there. And for a short period, our starting quarterback got hurt at Western New Mexico, and the backup really wasn't doing well. And so the coach came to me and asked if I wanted to also play quarterback for a while. So I played about a 4-game stretch both ways in college, where I played quarterback and strong safety. And that was probably my funnest period in college because I never came off the field. I literally played for 4 straight games, the entire game, because I was even the long snapper. So it was just every single play I played, it was really fun. Standing on the sidelines was just like delaying, waiting to play again, So I was like, if I could just play the whole game, that's perfect. That's a perfect world. And the funny thing is, I never really got tired. I actually felt like I got more tired when I had to come out and wait. But when you're just in the heat of the moment the whole time playing, you don't stop to think about being tired, So it was fun.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So now we can go to when you talked about you and your when you did a website for what company was it again?
It was Zia Publishing.
Yeah, Zia Publishing. When you did that, you can I'll let you continue on that story about you and your dad. I believe you talked about. when you came up with the?
Yeah, when we decided to go with Madwire. Yeah, when we were working out. So we were working out one day, just kind of talking about the marketing space and small business and how there was a big shift to digital. We did some research that weekend, and it was about 2-3 days of research, and we decided that this was a real opportunity and we're going to go for it. So we just went cold turkey. We gave away all of our brokerage accounts, we gave away everything, and we just started just trying to build the business right out of the gate. There was a lot of education. It took about 2 months of just learning. And then we decided we were ready. We turned our ads on one day. We went to work out again. We came back and we had a lead already.
Oh, wow.
And so about an hour in, we had a lead from turning on our ads. We called the lead, we opened the account, and that account's still with us today, 10 years later. And so it was like a snowball, everybody we talked to, it felt like we were closing every deal. We were used to the brokerage industry is very competitive. So now we're selling against like freelancers and those sorts of things. We were just crushing them. So we were bringing in accounts in the droves. And before you knew it, about 6 weeks in, we hired our first employee, Hunter Chang. He's still with us right now.
Oh, wow.
And we just kept hiring after that. Just kept going and going, because the faster you grew, the more accounts you had to manage, the more people you needed to manage them. So it brings us to today. Now we have about 600 people.
That's awesome.
So I don't know how much detail you want me to go in on that.
Honestly, as much as you're comfortable with, because this can also help other people. That might want to start businesses or might want to do something that like they don't that might want to start careers that they don't know much about, like things that they might want to do, like just how you did it.
Sure. Yeah. So growing from 0 to 600, there's a lot of lessons along the way, obviously. And one thing that we've learned is you have to be nimble. You have to be ready to change. What works with 10 people doesn't work with 100, and what works with 100 doesn't work with 200. And what works at 200 isn't working at 600, So you have to constantly evolve, and you have to adjust, and you have to optimize. We call it awesomize. Always trying to awesomize the process.
Is that the part of the thing, operating excellence?
Yeah, execution excellence.
Oh, execution, sorry.
Yeah, and that's a good point. We have a company motto called execution excellence. And we've etched it into steel, and we've hung it on our walls for all to see, and that's, for us, what that means is just do the best you can with what's put in front of you. It doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. Everybody will make mistakes, but just don't make the same mistake twice. The same mistake made twice is a decision, and we want to avoid that. So execution excellence to us, we try to not even have job descriptions here.
Oh, wow.
It's just everybody's job description is the same. Just do the best you can with what's put in front of you, even if that's outside of your role necessarily. And that allows us to cover each other's back, If my teammate's phone's ringing, I'm going to call and help his customer or her customer. She's going to do the same for me, And so we try to do that for each other, and it's paid off pretty well.
Oh, wow. And I have a question about that. So you guys try to do that, but like what... does that bring some confusions? Like, okay, so like I'm here, like what's my role? Or is it like just like here's your role, but like you also are in a team, so you also got to be a team player and stuff like that? That's
it. Everybody that starts here has a role. As default, a designer, a salesperson, a marketing executive, of course, but we're in a team. So sometimes a designer has to do things outside of the designer box, right? Sometimes the marketing executive has to do something out of their box. Because ultimately we want to serve the customer. So we always say if you take care of the customer will take care of you. That's the number one thing. And we believe to do that well, you need good people. That's the key. And so we take pride in our culture. Happy people make happy customers. So we're constantly working on making sure our people are happy. We work hard, but we have fun. You'll hear laughing around here. It's pretty noisy. It's a lively environment that was built here. It's just like it's fun. Positive-minded people make positive outcomes.
That's awesome.
And so that's who we look for.
Awesome. And then I know that you guys. Have your, you guys were also named Glassdoor's. What did you say?
It's the #1 best place to work.
Yeah, exactly. You guys were that, and then you guys were also, I believe, Inc.'s 500, 5,000, 6 times or something. 7 now?
Coming up. Well, we're hoping. The 7th year is announced within a couple weeks.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
And okay, so yeah, so you did that, and then so on the Madwire story, so like what did you guys like try to do that like made you guys successful when you were starting Madwire? Since like you were interested in marketing and you knew marketing and everything like that, but you maybe did not like this 100% is going to succeed. Like how did you guys like build the company for any like building it for it to succeed?
I think there's no guarantees when you start a business, but we didn't know which direction it would take us, but we know if we had the right people, no matter which direction we went, we'd be successful.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have good people that were competitive.
Yeah.
We're very competitive. We feel like, hey, if the rules are fair, we're going to be competitive. We're going to try to win. And so we believed in ourselves. We didn't know necessarily the path that we would end up taking.
Yeah.
We just knew every day we were going to work as hard as we can, and ultimately, if we did that and took care of the customer, we would be successful.
Oh,
and
wow.
so, that being said, we did envision growing to 300 plus people at that time.
You did? Oh, you did?
Yep, did.
Oh, wow.
We did. We envisioned that right from the beginning.
Wow.
We thought if we did things right, because of the recurring nature of the business, and the similarities to the brokerage industry, because in the brokerage industry, you build a book of business.
Yeah.
The bigger your book, the more trading volume you would have.
Yeah.
And it was recurring business in and of itself.
Yeah.
That if we had that same model in the small business arena, then we could build a large book of business, as small businesses marketing with us. And the more that we have, the more revenue we would do, the more people we would have.
Yeah.
So we projected we'd have 300 plus people at that time, which was, we were envisioning 3 to 7 years out.
Yeah.
You don't really think 10 years out when you start a business. As far out as you're really thinking is about 5. And so had we thought that far out and carried it forward, we'd probably be around 600 like we are today. But we did always envision it growing and not just being a small company between the two of us.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
So.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And then what advice do you have for like, let's say a high schooler who is maybe exploring about what career they want to do, or maybe even a high schooler that might be interested in joining Madwire?
Yeah.
So what advice do you have for them? And also after that, I also want you to talk about also the products you guys have as well.
My advice to a high schooler today would be to embrace technology.
Yeah.
Everything's moving technology based.
Yeah.
So that's really where the opportunity is going to be. So whether that's being a software engineer or a developer, or just thinking of a business model that's based around technology that you want to start or be a part of, I think is important moving into the future. Ultimately, just think about what you're passionate about. Maybe do some internships, maybe do some research, have some options on the table.
Yeah.
Because ultimately you want to do something that you enjoy doing. That's going to be more important than pay or anything else. And so try to figure out what those things are.
Yeah.
And then do everything you can to learn everything you can about it.
Okay, awesome.
The Madwire is just the company, the brand,
the
company, and then we have brands underneath that we sell. So Marketing 360 is the main one.
Yeah.
Top Rated Local is another one, and then we have a new one that's just gaining popularity called Websites 360.
Website. Oh wow. So is that when you guys like build websites for people, or? It's
a website building platform. Yeah. Kind of like Wix or Squarespace.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the difference? Like, is it just for like the small business, or?
Yeah, it's for the small business, and it has designs and whatnot catered to the local businesses that you'd see around town: plumbers, chiropractors, roofers, that kind of thing.
Ah, nice. And then what is a lot of people don't, at least I did not know what Top Rated Local is.
Yeah.
Could you explain what it is and when you guys started it and everything like that?
Yeah. Top Rated Local is a small business review platform.
Yeah.
And so the reason that we started that is because a lot of our customers have reviews on all these different websites. So some on Yelp, some over here on Google, some on Facebook, all over. There's like 100 review sites.
Wow.
So we thought, man, wouldn't it be nice if you had one site that if you could go to the one site, it would show you all the reviews across all the platforms in one place.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's what Top Rated Local does, is it goes out and it aggregates all of the reviews you have online at all these different places, so that when somebody goes to look at your business profile on Top Rated Local, they see your overall rating and reputation overall.
Yeah.
Instead of them needing to go one by one to check all that stuff,
okay.
it's all built into one. And then what it does is it takes all the other businesses in the area and it ranks them top to bottom, so you know the truly top rated local business in the area. That's the thinking. And advice to small businesses?
Yeah.
A couple quotes that I've loved through the years and I've always leaned back on.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people find value in those when I share it with them.
Awesome.
And one is, do what you feel is right, for you'll be criticized anyways.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've learned, is just always follow your gut, just do what's right, because you'll be criticized no matter what anyways, right? And so just go with your gut. The other one is, to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift.
Oh, wow.
What that means is we all have talents and abilities,
Yeah.
and it's up to us to give it our very best. Or we're literally sacrificing that gift, and so if you're going to do anything, do it hard and work hard, you know. I don't even like to go work out if I'm not going to give it my all, you know. Like, you might as well not even go. So trying to have that culture built within your company, I think, is key.
Yeah.
People don't need to work longer. Just be focused in the moment, you
Yes.
know. The win philosophy, what's important now, you know. Live where your feet are.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we try to do here.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
All right.
So,
Thank you, JB.
Perfect, yeah.